Out of all the episodes of Ice Queendom that I watched, episodes 6 through 11 felt the closest to a RWBY volume. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of surprises, and there's a lot of insight on the central characters. But it also plays with new ideas, making the experience fresh. Team RWBY try to stop the Nightmare and Negative Weiss, but wind up failing. Once back in the waking world, the team split off to rethink their strategy and to cope with the situation. Thankfully, with the help of Team Juniper, Sun, and Penny, they hatch up a new plan. Xion warns them that they have only one last shot to save Weiss or else she'll die. They bring John into the dream and begin to change the events of the dream to create a different outcome. Later on, they form a rebellion with Dream Pira and an army of baby Weisses, because that's exactly what RWBY would have done. However, that plan also falls flat on its face, so now they must think of a new plan. Would they be able to save Weiss in time? Would they be able to stop the Nightmare? Well, if you've seen Volume 2, you know exactly what's going to happen. But it's all in the creative and unpredictable ways that it does happen. They really play around with the dream world on several occasions. For example, Blake and Yang get banished outside the city to a creepy house where all of Weiss's shameful memories are locked away. I love that kind of creativity. They also play with dreams within dreams. There's a moment where RWBY nearly gets infected by the Nightmare that attempts to use her own insecurities against her. They bring in Casey Lee Williams, the primary singer of the RWBY series, to sing Mirror Mirror for a brief moment. They even go as far as using a cliche that I usually despise, and somehow make it interesting. Blake plans to be possessed by the Nightmare that previously possessed John, in order to distract Negative Weiss, thus creating Nightmare Blake. I know you guys call her Negative Blake, but Nightmare sounds more fitting. So yeah, this is basically the raging she-demon trope that has been overused in the Equestria Girls movies. Hell, even in the My Little Pony series, the more I think about it. But in this kind of story, it actually makes sense. Both Blake and Weiss are characters that want to do the right thing, but are haunted by their backgrounds. And having to willingly or unwillingly submit to their dark sides in order to fight each other is actually kind of cathartic. On top of that, Erin Zek goes all out when she voices Nightmare Blake, capturing both the anger of Blake and the malice of Adam Taurus.
So you're gonna hide behind your friends? Fine. You spoiled little girl. They'll go down as well.
Speaking of which, the action scenes are amazing. This gave me the same chills and excitement I had when I first watched the original RWBY. It also expands on the characters as well. There's a flashback where we see Weiss talking to her grandfather. Not only is the scene heartwarming and cute, but it also gives us insight on what drives both Weiss and her sister to do the things that they do. However, there are some problems with these episodes. The Dream Within a Dream segment might confuse some viewers. There's also a small break in continuity when RWBY fights the Nightmare. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it might upset some fans. My only complaint is that I really want Dream Pira to kiss John. Yeah, I know it wouldn't advance the story or anything, but I thought it would be some crazy foreshadowing. Outside of that, I'm glad the series is now starting to feel more like RWBY, while expanding on the characters we know and love, and doing something new and creative. Though it doesn't really take any risks, but it still delivers the goods.